I wanted to make a quick follow-up video to yesterday's video about the travel tips and tricks with more focus about traveling to a poor country. Now, as you might know, I am here in Medellin, Colombia. While I don't regard Colombia like a third world country, at least the circles that I frequent, it's still good practice to use common sense. Now, I want you to understand that when you travel to a poor country, there are going to be a lot of people desperate for money. And it's not their fault. It's because the minimum wage is very low. It could be like 100, 200, 300 bucks a month. And these people, they need to work a couple of jobs in order to get ends meet. So as you get there as a tourist, they are trying one way or the other to get your money. Either they scam you, or they want your tips, or they might mug you. So I want you to pay attention to this video if you have a trip planned. It would be good to download on your phone Google Translate and Google Maps. What that does is that with Google Translate, you can write down a phrase and it will translate to the local language. The other thing, you can have a conversation with someone and it'll translate in real time. Or you can point your camera at something in writing and it will translate for you. Now, in order to do that, you'll have to have coverage, data coverage. Now, if you don't, but you already had it downloaded it offline, you will be able to translate like a text message with that. And it's very, very helpful. So I always recommend that you at least speak the basics. But I understand that that's not easy. So it would be really recommendable to download Google Translate on your phone. Of course, like I mentioned, Google Maps, download it offline so that if you don't have coverage, at least you can understand where you're at and you can find your way back to the hotel or to the Airbnb. Again, like I said in my previous video, common sense. It all comes down to common sense. You can live your life like you do in the States when you are traveling to those countries, and even less so if you adventure yourself in the poorest areas of that country. My recommendation is not to show off any of your valuables. When you go out on the street, you go to a market, do not show off your phone, your cameras, take your jewelry off. If you're wearing a gold watch, take it off, leave it in the hotel room, okay? And leave it out of sight, even in there. Now, before you even get there, usually when I travel, I take multiple phones with me. Now, when I do travel, I go on long trips, usually several months. I don't know if that's your case, but it's still a good guideline to take multiple phones. Now, I have 4 phones, just in case if you go out and they steal your phone. If that was your only phone, what are you going to do? You're pretty much screwed. The same thing goes for debit and credit cards. Now, when I leave the States, I usually pack 4 or 5 debit cards with me. Same thing. You're going to take one card with you and leave the others in the hotel, on the Airbnb. So if you get robbed, you're going to have another debit card at the hotel. And as well with the phones, you leave it in the hotel room and leave it out of sight with all your valuables. Leave it to where if there is a housekeeper, they can't rob you. Because see, you never know. It could be that the housekeeper is working a minimum wage and she's not happy with her pay. It could be her last day at the job, and she wouldn't think twice to steal from you. And again, this is good advice when you travel to those poor countries. The same goes for your documents. Leave your driving license, your original passport at the hotel, and when you go out, take a paper copy with you. If it is the paper copy of the passport or the visa where you're going to, your driving license, but never take the original. Now, of course, if you are going to China, that you gotta have the original passport, well then take it with you, but use extra caution. Always secure your valuables in a zipper. Okay. What I do if I go to a crowded area is to wear my backpack up front, and I put my valuables with the zipper so they can take it from you. But if you wear on the back and you are in a crowded area or you are in public transportation, they might take it. They might open the zipper and take it before you're even aware of it. So make sure of that. The other thing that you can do is buy you a wallet that you put at the waist, where you can put your valuables in, and you can secure it with the zipper and put your shirt on top of it. Okay, if you don't have that, always put your phone and your valuables on the front pocket. It's much easier that someone slide your phone out of your back pocket, and even more so if you wear loose pants. I always wear pants that are tight on me, so I will be aware if someone is trying to reach out. As a general rule, never let someone get too close to you. Okay, yeah, like I say, a lot of people, they're gonna approach you. They're trying to be nice, to snap your photo, take you, give you direction. Everything that they do is because they're after your tips. And like I was saying, then you're gonna have a problem if you don't want to give it to them. The situation can escalate and get pretty ugly pretty quickly. So it's better than you just go about your business. They are trying to talk to you, and I wouldn't even pay attention, keep walking, like pretended then that you didn't hear them. Once again, don't take your valuables or your phone out if you are on the sidewalk or waiting at the stoplight, you're crossing the street, because someone on a motorcycle or on a bicycle can snatch it from you. Now, when I say don't let anyone get close to you, including women, some of those countries there are pretty women on the street. They might be working, they might be offering their services. They get close, they are trying to give you a hug, and in the meantime, they might slide your phone out of your pocket. Another thing that you might want to be aware is going back to the debit card thing. Always set the daily limits, okay? Because in the case that you get robbed or you get mugged, okay, in the worst case scenario, they're gonna get away with three, $400. Now I don't know if you set it at $300, they might steal $300 from you. And now, if you need to make a big purchase, of course, you can then raise that limit, and then you can lower it again. But again, if they steal your debit card from you, in the worst case scenario, you're not going to lose a lot of money. Because what happens is that when you travel abroad, you're not going to input your PIN like in the States. Usually, with a debit card, they are going to run it as a credit. And they might need your signature, but anyone can fake a signature. And again, the PIN is not required, so be aware of that. Another thing is when you take a taxi cab. Now, of course, I would recommend using riding share apps. But if they're not available, you're gonna have to go with a yellow taxi or whatever the color is on that country. Like I said, stay away from private individuals with their private car. But even when you go on a authorized taxi, always agree on the fee before you get on the car. Like if you're going from the airport to the city center, usually there is a flat fee for that. Now, in some cases, there is a billboard at the wall for the most common areas of the city, from the airport to the city center. Usually it's a flat fee, but you might want to agree on that fee ahead of time, okay? Because sometimes they charge you whatever they want, they overcharge you, they understand that you don't speak a word of that language, they might give you a bad reason, like they had to pay for the toll, or they might go down a longer route. Again, be careful on that. Usually, if they go with the taximeter, you will be fine. But the taximeter también too can be tampered with. So be careful about that. Sometimes there is no taximeter, but there is like a phone app that it's counting the miles, and that can be a scam. Okay, so usually what I do, I talk with the driver, and the fee will be agreed upon ahead of time. Sometimes they might offer you to take you places, like the taxi driver. If you are a single guy, they might offer you to take you to find pretty women or to buy drugs. I would decline. I would decline any offer or to take you to the most uptight nightclub or take you to a strip club. I would decline all of those offers. Okay, if you want to go to those venues, you do your homework. You look them up on Google, and you go there. But I would stay away from any offer that a taxi driver is gonna make you. Now, what I was saying about Google Maps is that you can check the route in real time. So if you're going to the city center from the airport, in the meantime, you can check on your phone that it's actually taking the right route to get you there. Because a lot of times, again, they might go the longer route so that they can charge you more, saying that there is traffic, saying that the tunnel is closed, anything like that, not to pay the toll. Again, you might wanna be aware of that. What you will find in these countries is that a lot of people are going to tell you that they want to offer you their services and it's going to be gratis. It's going to be free. So, like, I'm going to take a picture of you, I'm going to take you there, I'm going to give you directions, they're going to give you advices on what to do, on where to go. Again, none of that is gratis. None of that is free. They are after your money. I would again decline all of their offers. If you are going to a bar or a nightclub, use extra caution. Don't take your phone out and leave it on the bar while talking to your friends. Don't leave your drinks unattended while you're going to the bathroom. Again, all of those things that it's safe to do in the States, you couldn't do it in a developed country. So make sure that you don't talk to anyone that look suspicious. Sometimes it can be people from your own country that you meet there, and you lower your guard, saying, okay, he's from the States too. Or, again, that's when they might take advantage of you. Never lower your guard. At the bar too, make sure that they don't overcharge you for drinks. A lot of times they recognize you're a tourist, they charge you more, or they charge your credit card for extra beer or extra drink. Sometimes you're gonna have local women coming to your table and they order a round of shots, and then you're gonna get stuck with the tab. So make sure to stay away from these women. I mean, unless you are aware of it, that will be okay. But make sure that you don't run your tab without being aware. The other thing is that be aware of the behavior of the local people in the country you're going to. Now, usually what I do, like if I go to Turkey, I will watch a couple of YouTubes, the do's and don'ts of Turkey. Now you get the point. There are a few things. It can be gesture, or it can be behavior on the street that they are perfectly okay doing it in the States, but when you go to those countries, it might be misinterpreted. So again, use common sense, and this can be due to their tradition, their religion. Now, if you go to a Muslim country, again, all of this applies there. Like every day at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., they have a, a ritual in their religion. So you might want to be aware of those things. Um, when it comes to buy alcohol, again, it depends on the country that you're going to. If you are going to a Muslim country, the policy is different. You know, the sales of alcohol could be limited at a certain venue or certain time of the day. Walking with alcohol on the street with an open container. Again, all of this, you might want to do your due diligence before you go there. And least but not less, the dress code. Like if you're going to a Muslim country, use common sense. I mean, if you are a woman and you're going in bikini in a mall, you get the point. Use common sense. Don't be an idiot. Again, once again, when it comes to data coverage on your phone, a lot of those countries, there are going to be people that might try to steal your data. So use VPN. You probably know about that more than I do. Usually, I stay away from the Wi-Fi in airports, hotels, anything which is a shared venue. And I usually use an international chip that works with the main provider of that country. That would be the national provider. And in that case, it's safe. I rarely put my password if it's a share network. Now, you might use the Face ID and the fingerprints to log in, but again, it's risky because if they drug you or you're drunk that night, they might steal your phone and unlock your phone and your online banking with the Face ID. So every time I travel, I deactivate all that. And even when you give out your hotspot to other people, I would be careful of doing that. Now, I'm not a geek. I'm not a hacker, but I'm pretty sure that there are people who can find a way to steal your data. A couple of last things when you travel, be careful the restaurants that you eat in. Make sure of the quality of the food, the quality of the meat. If you see something that it doesn't seem right, I would leave that venue. If you are looking for fresh seafood, I would ask the manager to show you where the fish comes from, and make sure if it is indeed fresh, like they advertise. Now, of course, use common sense. If you are going to Bogota, which is 2,000 meters over the sea level, you're not gonna find fresh seafood there. So again, be smart. But again, even if it is me, I usually stay away from eating meat on a Sunday because if it doesn't get there fresh, it could be already there by several days. Again, if it doesn't look good, you might get food poisoning or you might get bacteria, and then you're gonna have all kinds of different problems. Now, a lot of people recommend that you buy travel insurance to cover anything that can happen. I would recommend that too. I have it. But I think the best thing to do is to prevent anything bad from happening. And one last thing, wherever you're going to, study if there is some type of disease in the air, some type of virus. Also animals, mosquitoes, anything like that. You might want to pack a lotion or some type of itch relieving cream. Anything happens, and again, it depends on where you're going to. If you're going in the middle of the desert, there are going to be animals, snakes. So be smart about that. Diseases, spiders, and if you do, before you leave, get the appropriate vaccine. That was everything I wanted to tell you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm sure I left a few things behind, but for right now, stay safe out there and enjoy your trips.